Hi everyone. First, thanks a lot for all your answers. It's very appreciated. I decided to make a video to make it clear on what I want. So I've started by creating a simple cylinder here, which for my representation. Um, so let's create an offset plane, and on this plane, let's create a sketch. Let's draw a circle. Let's make it 12. Okay. So let's say I want some attachment on that big cylinder. So I will extrude this to the big cylinder and I will create a new body because what I want is to be able to toggle on and off that body. Okay. So that's pretty much what I want to do, because to that main object represented by this big cylinder, I want to create several attachments on different positions, sizes, and shapes. And I want to be able to toggle each of them on and off to be able ultimately to create several versions of the same objects quickly and easily, and all within one design. So the attachment is represented by this little rod here. So let's say I want to apply a fillet on here. Well, that doesn't work. Well, it does work, but the fillet's not applied on the way that I want. I want the fillet to be kissing that bigger cylinder. So of course, what I can do, um, let's go back to the extrusion and change the operation to join, and then I can apply a fillet. And now it's on the right way, but now it's one whole body. So that's pretty much the core of my problem. I figured out a couple of solutions. None of them are truly fully satisfying, but I'll show you and you can tell me what you think. So the first one is just to use the timeline like this. That does work, but it works on a super simple design like this one, but on my actual design, the timeline is going to be super long, and doing this so would suppress some features I don't want to be suppressed. So that's really an option. Another thing that I can do is take those two features, create a group of them, and then suppress these features like so. Now this does work. It's a way to toggle it on and off. But once again, if I got a super long timeline, it's going to be a hassle to identify which is which. So that's not really an elegant solution for me. Um, Another technique would be to split bodies. So let me show you what I mean by that. And now I'm going to keep it on join, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the fillet right here. And then I'm going to use split body. I'm going to use the exterior face of the cylinder as a splitting tool. And now I've got two separate bodies. Okay, so that does work. I'm going to rename this body to cylinder to make things clear. So let's say now that I want several of those attachments. What I can do is copy them. What's going on? Okay. Let's put one on the right. Oh, on the left actually, and then I'm going to put one on the right. Like so. So now I've got three different attachment points. I can toggle each of them one by one. So those are the operations I want to be able to do. I also want those three attachments to be identical all the time. So let's say I want to apply a modification to one of them like this. Well, the modifications only apply to the one I selected and not to the left and to the right. So that's a problem. And to solve this problem, what I can do is create a body, not a body, sorry, a component out of this little rod. So let's do that. So I'm going to create a component. I'm going to call it attachment. And this component is within the bigger component. I'm going to repeat all the same operations. Now I can extrude this circle to the cylinder like so. And now what I need to do is actually combine the bodies, apply the fillet, and split the bodies. So that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be the target body. This is going to be the tool body. Keep tools. All right. And now, just to make sure that there's no confusion, I'm going to hide this body. So right now, what I did is I've created a whole new cylinder within the attachment component. So I'm going to apply a fillet here, like so. So let's check the behavior of this design. So let's go back to the cylinder component. Let's show this body. So if I toggle this on and off, in appearance, it only toggles this little rod right here. But in reality, it also toggles the big cylinder contained in the attachment body. So that could not be a problem. But let's say I want to apply a modification. Let's say I want a hole in this like this. Okay, for some reason. And now if I toggle it on and off, well, when it's on, it fills the hole. So that's not a good solution for me. So what I can do is split those bodies like so. And I can hide this body. And I'm going to rename this ghost cylinder to make sure that I understand that I do need this body, but I don't want it to be shown. So let's check on the behavior right now. Now this works. Another thing that I could do, I could be tempted to just delete this, but that's going to create a problem, obviously, because it's referenced and now it just deletes everything. So that's obviously not what I want to do. A better solution could be to remove, and that does work. But my feeling is that somehow it could backfire. So I'm a little afraid of that. So let's just check on the component. So let's make copies of this. Create copy, select origin like this, 90 degrees. So one on the right. And let's create another one on the left. Like so. So now I can toggle each of them one by one. That's what I want to do. And if I apply modification on one of them, the same modification is applied to the three. So that's pretty good. That could be a solution. The last solution I found is more of a workaround. Let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to create another component. Also, I'm just going to repeat pretty much the same steps right now. So now, when I extrude this circle, what if I don't extrude it the whole way to the cylinder? I keep a space here. Now, I can take this face and extrude it, this one, to the cylinder, and I can give it a taper angle. Let's give it an angle of 45. Okay. So that pretty much is a chamfer instead of a fillet. That could be it. But what I also can do is apply a fillet between this part and this part. So let's do that. And I can play with the size of the fillet to make it go as close as possible to this edge. So let's make it 20 instead. Okay. So that looks pretty good. And it's like almost a complete fillet. I can play with the size with to have the perfect form. And I've got a tiny part of chamfer here and a bigger part of fillet. So I could probably learn to live with that. It has the advantage of not having any ghost body or anything in the way like that. It's a completely separate component, but it's not the exact uh, geometry that I want. So those are the techniques that I figured. If you have a better one, please let me know. That's what I'm looking for. Uh, and well, thank you in advance for your help.